ABC News just exposed Trump's whole strategy around Ghislaine Maxwell and the Epstein scandal, and it's already crumbling before our eyes. Buckle up, kids. We're pulling down the curtain. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. The Epstein scandal continues following the Trump Department of Justice moving Maxwell to a minimum security prison, the choice venue of any convicted sex trafficker, and as Trump plans an emergency distraction summit at J.D. Vance's house tonight. See our other videos here on the channel for more on all that. James Comer of the House Oversight Committee is also preparing his own circus sideshow to prevent the House from voting to release the Epstein files. Take a look.
And this is actually a semi-bipartisan resolution and statement from Chairman Comer, who has promised to get more information out of the Department of Justice and people who were involved in these Jeffrey Epstein investigations throughout administrations. There are former Trump officials here. Think about Bill Barr, Jeff Sessions. There are people from the Obama era, Robert Mueller, Merrick Garland, who obviously was the Attorney General under President Biden, Eric Holder, some names who really are from a different generation of politics maybe than what we're living in now, but all whose Department of Justice or law enforcement organizations oversaw multiple investigations into Jeffrey Epstein. They want to sit down with these people, ask questions, and potentially get new answers out of them if there are any to be found. But the most interesting thing is the bipartisan resolution here, Mugo, to force the Department of Justice to release files from the multiple investigations, and in addition to that, a resolution to make sure that victims are protected, and also to force the release of any communications between the Biden Department of Justice and the FBI and White House about the Epstein files during President Biden's administration.
Notice that Donald Trump, Epstein's best friend of several decades, who also happened to be president at the time of Epstein's arrest and 2019 death, is not included in that list. And that seems to be who people want to hear from the most. Again, this is part of a larger strategy, so stay tuned. Of course, just about any rational Democrat right now supports release of the files and legal action against anyone who colluded with or hid the crimes of Epstein, regardless of political affiliation. But what's going on in MAGA world, where all these Epstein conspiracy theories began? Well, hell has frozen over. Candace Owens and Alex Jones have declared Trump part of the deep state.
I think the real mask down moment was, of course, him trying to gaslight us about the Epstein files. That's ridiculous. Trump is smarter than that. And I'm telling you that Trump reads the room correctly. So the fact that he intentionally read the room wrong and then said, if you're still interested in the Epstein files, I don't want you as my supporter anymore. He tweeted that effectively. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. No one should accept that. And it's unfortunate, obviously, because we all got behind him in earnest. We believe that he was going to be a solution to the deep state, but now it seems that he's become it.
Forgive my showing that. I do so not because Owens or Jones have any credibility, well, on any issue whatsoever, but more as evidence of a larger shift in support. The people who supported Trump to destroy the deep state, whatever that even is, nobody seems to even agree, are now declaring him part of it. And they are just as furious about Maxwell getting moved to a minimum security prison, the delays on releasing the files, and Trump's constant dodging of questions. And now it looks like Trump's whole strategy and his plan have been exposed. And it's already backfiring.
It was an unusual two-day encounter between the country's #2 law enforcement official and a convicted sex trafficker. And this morning, sources tell ABC News Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, said nothing harmful about President Trump. Maxwell, who was sentenced to 20 years for enabling Epstein's abuse of underage girls, arranged the 9-hour meeting in Tallahassee with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Sources familiar with the meeting's contents tell us Maxwell said Trump did nothing in her presence that caused concern. At the conclusion of the interview, we asked Maxwell's attorney if she told the Justice Department what Trump would want to hear.
Did she or you have an ask of the Deputy Attorney General?
No. There have been no asks and no promises, and nothing like that has been made.
President Trump has not ruled out a pardon. A week after the meeting, Maxwell was transferred from a federal prison in Florida to a minimum security women's camp in Texas, an unusual place to house a sex offender. President Trump was asked whether he authorized that move.
I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that.
Sources tell ABC News the Justice Department is now considering releasing a transcript of the meeting between Blanche and Maxwell. The Trump administration has refused to release its full Epstein files. Now the Republican-led House Oversight Committee has subpoenaed the Justice Department for them. The committee also subpoenaed 10 former government officials, including President Bill Clinton, inquiring about the Epstein investigation, prolonging a controversy Trump has tried to end.
That's right. The purposes of the interview with Maxwell are coming into focus. First, nobody should be surprised that she said nothing of real consequence. If she saw Trump or Epstein misbehaving with women, it would make her accessory to that abuse. Maxwell is also appealing her own sex trafficking conviction to the Supreme Court, so talking about Trump's indiscretions wouldn't exactly help her there. Nevertheless, Trump wants to use the Maxwell interview as cover, along with the House Oversight depositions, to make it look like he did nothing wrong, is investigating Epstein, and that the whole thing will just go away. But if you ask me, this is a major strategic blunder. Everyone knows Maxwell isn't credible, and an edited transcript of a private meeting will not satiate the need to see the files, nor will these depositions. The only way this ends is with release of the Epstein files, unredacted, that expose Trump's involvement to whatever degree that might have happened. If nothing else, that will happen when Democrats retake the House next year, hence the current push in Texas, Ohio, and other states to gerrymander and prevent Democrats from doing so. Trump and his gang of ticks already know they've lost, and so they're trying to fix the game. Fight back by calling the office of Texas Governor Greg Abbott and opposing his redistricting attempts. And call your own representatives to demand transparency on the Epstein files and from Donald Trump. What did the president do, and when did he do it? This is Occupy Democrats.